Right, so we're in Maven BJJ in Woking/Send. Still in lockdown, so with the training dummies. But so I'm Dean. I teach a beginner's class at Maven BJJ. I'm just going to go through just a single technique, just so that you guys, basically for white belts who come in and they want a little bit of research before they come into one of our first classes. So one of the positions I'm going to start from is one of what we say is a dominant position, which is mount position. So usually we end up sort of starting most matches or first times we roll, we're always sort of in a position of we're either in someone's guard, which means we're in legs wrapped around us, or we're in open guard, or in the same position, he's in the opposite position where he's in my open guard. Or a lot of time we might just be set up like this, okay? But that's the beginning of the game. While we're fighting, but while we're rolling, competing our techniques against one another, there is a position where I finally managed to clear his legs, maybe get into side control, and from here I sit on top in mount position. Now when I'm in mount position, most white belts or most people who don't really know BJJ, they'll see that this is probably the most dominant position that you could be in. After you've done BJJ for a while, you realize this isn't quite the case. This is a very good position to be in, but depending on your style of jiu-jitsu and what you like, it's not always the most dominant position. In a fight, this is a dominant position because from here, I've got all of the leverage to rain down punches. I can keep him pinned down, and there's not really too much he can do from the bottom to actually hurt me. So this is a good position to be in a fight. Jiu-jitsu is not a fight. Jiu-jitsu is a competition of skill and technique. Okay, so when you're in this position, what we'll see is a lot of, say, new beginners, white belts, they'll get into this position and not really know what to do next. They'll get into this one because this feels instinctive. They've seen the UFC, they've seen school fights, and you always get into this position where the person on the bottom is in a very bad position from here. So usually there's, again, strikes, or at least they're pinned down and don't know what to do. In jiu-jitsu, we're not going to be striking each other. We're looking for submission, or if it was a points competition, we would have got our points and then expect to be doing something next, like changing position or setting up an attack or doing something. So a lot of people get stuck in this position and then don't know what to do. Okay, first position, well, the first thing you need to know about this is trained jiu-jitsu guy, immediately he's going to notice where your weight is on top of him. Okay, my weight is on his hips right now. Now, if he has the power to book his hips up, what that happens to me, if I'm in this postured position, is he books his hips, I go up, and suddenly my weight is off him, and he's got ability to shrimp away or shuffle around. He's creating space, and he's knocking me off guard. Well, off focus, really. But it's also stopping me from attacking him, okay? So when you're in this position, you immediately need to think, right, what's he going to do once I get into this position? Most of them, still going to be energy. He doesn't want to stay in this position. He's going to book his hips, and I have to be able to plant my hands to stop. So a lot of the time, when you first get into mounts, you might want to secure your mount by booking your hips nice and low, grapevining the legs out, so stopping him from being able to book his hips up. My body weight is down. We're calling this a Superman position where I've got all my weight pushed down on him. I also like to hook his head because if you've got someone in a slight sort of crunch position, it makes him very difficult to bump his hips up and get me off him. Okay, so we're in this position. We're looking at the ref. Did we get our points? Or we're looking at our partner. Is he calming down yet? I can start thinking about what's my attack and what's my next plan of action. Okay, so what we're going to do is, looking at him now, what can I attack? The attacks I've got is, I've got his neck, I've got his arms. Now, a lot of people who know BJJ is going to be saying, hey, that's terrible. There's so many things you could do here. You're not even considering wrist locks. This is for white belts. You're not allowed to wrist block yet, unless it's no-gi. No-gi, you could do what you want. So, I always say, there's always a plan of attack. You've got 3 items to attack, neck and arms. I like to always think, attack the neck first, okay? This comes down to preference, and it comes down to what you're comfortable doing. But I always feel if you're attacking the neck, if you make a mistake, you can always recover faster. Like if you're attacking the arms, say if I'm setting the arm up, I'm going for a sort of arm bar position. I've now given up mount, and depending on how good I am at this arm bar position, I'm in S mount now. If I go for the arm bar, and I made a mistake. Now he rolls back into me, he escapes, okay? I'm now in a worse position. But if I attack the neck, I open up the collar, arm goes across his chest, I go knuckles in, thumb out, I pull him up by pushing my elbow into his sternum to create that position where his head is up, so he's not going to be able to book me as easily. I'm in this position. Now, from here, if I mess up, I can always just let go and keep mount position and try again. I'm not giving up mount position. I'm not really attacking anything else. I can reset myself. So, I open up the collar, dive my hand in, pull up, elbows pushes in, creates that distance of his head coming up to make it difficult for him to push him over. Now, because I've taken the arm out this side, if he books me this way, my hand comes out and I post. Can't do anything. But if he books me this way, I roll. So, when we get into this position and we commit our arm into attacking this side of the neck, this arm, I'm just immediately going to even predict that he's going to bump me this way. So I immediately put this arm across and I bring my body weight down, keeping nice and low. So now if he tries to bump me the other way, I'm not going to go anywhere and he can't bump me this way. This arm is going to slowly slide across his neck and my forearm is looking to get underneath the chin. As it's coming across, I'm going to grab the shoulder or a bit of material, whatever I can. And from here, I'm just going to spray my elbows out to the side, bring my weight down, bring my whole weight down if I need to make it even more comfortable for him. And what that's doing is my arms are crossing across his neck and it's also closing off the arteries on the side of his neck. From this position, it's all just a waiting game now. Okay, as I bring this weight down, he's carrying the weight on my neck. He's going to tap out or pass out. Worst comes to worst, and I mess this up. I bring the arms out, I come up, I start my attack again. Whenever I get into mount, always think, what is the first thing I attack? And I think a good way is to always go for the neck first, because it'll also make him react. If you start attacking his neck, he might bring his arm up. Start trying to defend that neck, which then opens up his arms. And then you've got things like arm bars. You've got other attacks. But for now, cross collar choke. Open, deep in, elbow into his solar plexus, arms around, drag it across his neck, grab materials, drag down, and choke. And he goes nice out. Right, check out Maven BJJ. Come do one of the beginners classes with me. Have a good day.